Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Vishveshwaraya Shiva Vishveshwaraya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Gangadhara Shiva Gangadhara, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Vishveshwaraya Shiva Vishveshwaraya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Beautiful morning and welcome to this mandir, the mandir of nature, the mandir of manifestation of consciousness, the mandir of the five elements, the five murtis. Mother Earth, she's blooming now and she's nourishing us and the trees and all of creation. Water, Ganga, refreshing and soothing water, water vital for our existence. And air, the caressing air that keeps us fresh and vibrant and vigorant and goes into our system and takes the energy all over our body, oxygen, keeps us alive. And sun, Surya Narayan, he'll be coming up soon, that keeps us in brightness and heat. Without the sun, we will not exist because he's supporting all of us. He's supporting the whole of the 9 planets, keep them in the orbit, and gravitational pull is keeping them in that space. And then, space. Space is so beautiful that it is in the, all of creation is in the womb of space. But more than that, we are beyond all of this is consciousness. And consciousness is such a powerful thing. It is the origin of everything, is the material cause and the efficient cause. In other words, all of the material things came out of this consciousness. And we are that consciousness. So in us is this mandir of creation, the 5 elements, and also the life force consciousness is keeping us alive. But more than that, we have to rediscover that this consciousness is really so powerful that if we go back to where it is, where we came from, we'll find out that we are consciousness. But we can't go looking outside for this consciousness. It is inside of us. And the great souls like Swami Parameshananda Maharaj and BHARAT SEVASHRAM Shengfon, the spiritual master incarnation of Lord Shiva, he has demonstrated is in modern day that we don't have to go back to our history to find out that we are consciousness. He came as Lord Shiva, manifesting himself into a human form, and throughout his life he demonstrated that he is that consciousness. How fortunate that we are. Let us pay adoration to the Guru. But Guru is no other than Lord Shiva. And here we are looking at Lord Shiva, beautiful and bubbling lingam that is made out of water, sitting in a nice pond, and around that lingam is air, and it's sitting on earth, Mother Earth, this lingam of water, and then the sun will be coming up and will shed the light on this lingam, and space is there, it's supporting all of this. So let us pay adoration to Guru and all the spiritual masters. Om Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti Puja Moolam Guru Param Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. It's a very sunny day here, but I'm a little early. And the sun will be coming up shortly through the trees there. And it will be so beautiful. But anyway, this morning I want to talk about the greatness of our Hindu religion and all religions. Because religion is a stepping stone to go to that spiritual life. We worship creation in the form of earth, water, fire, air, and space. In this mandir that has no walls and has no ceiling. And this worship will take us gradually into when we go inside, and we'll find out that everything that we're looking for is inside. And then that wisdom will come, and we'll go into that meditative state. And before that, let us all pay some adoration to sing one tune. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Om. Adorations to Krishna, adorations to Lord Shiva, Mother Durga, and all our deities. You know, to set the stage, every morning I will get up around 3 and do the cleansing, drink some nice warm water with lemon. This is my spiritual practice, and around 3:30 I'll start the yoga asanas. And when as you're going through the yoga asanas, of course you're moving from that tamasic state. When you get up, you're a little lazy, the body is needs to be animated, so the yoga does that. And as you go through the yoga, you go through the rajasic state, where the mind and the body is at full force operation. That's the definition of rajasic activity, right? And then when all is said and done, you do the relaxation, you go into that sattvic state. By then, all the energy centers, the lower energy has been risen to the top of the head. And all the chakras, as you may want to call them, the unseen power center in us, they're all operative. Oh my God, what a good feeling that is. We should all try this, because our Hinduism has that wisdom to tell us to do these things. And when we do it, so now we're in that sattvic state, and now we exit our body through the top of the head. This is what the ancient saints and sages, when they want to give up the body, they exit through the top of the body and go into the earth atmosphere. And there you go as energy, because the body is left behind. And when you're in that space now, then you, from all points of Mother Earth, you go into space. And then the mind is left behind, and now you're going, and then you go exit from space, all of creation, because space has all of creation, and then you go into consciousness. Consciousness is all pervading. It's on space and everywhere. But consciousness, when you do the, Krishna Bhagavan would have said, when you do the percentage of his existence is consciousness, that creation, all of creation is such a small fraction of consciousness. And imagine we are that consciousness, that if we practice it, that when I do it, I go there, get glimpses of it. I can't say I'm there already, but you get glimpses of it, and little by little, with the grace of the Guru, Swami Parameshananda ji, he's taking you there. And then I realize that the purpose of my life is God realization, as he would have said. And you exit religion at this point in time, because the doctrines of religion, the dogmas of religion keep us in the lower state. That's why we have this idea that our religion is better than the other person's religion. But when you go into that space of consciousness, you realize all the founders of religion, Christianity, Christ, Buddhism, Buddha, Hinduism, Krishna, and our Hinduism came from direct transmission of knowledge when the saints were sitting and they were listening, doing their meditation. From consciousness came this wisdom to them. And that's the Shruti, and then when it was recorded in our Vedas and Puranas, and it becomes the Smriti, remember, the textbooks. And then our incarnations, Bhagavan Sri Ram came as give us the Ramayana, and Bhagavan Krishna give us through the Bhagavad give us the Bhagavad Gita. What a terrific book. It's the book that encompasses all of religion, not just Hinduism, but all of Hinduism. But today I want to talk about the greatness of Swami Parameshananda ji as a great spiritual master, because he is. And he took me out of mundane life. I like to say this because it so gives a great story. Without his form, miracle as we'll say. One night you go to sleep, wake up the next morning, you realize soul. And through his power and his guidance, he brought me to the ashram. And then to all ashrams all over the world. And then I would have done all the activities of the ashram. It is impossible to really get the benefit of BHARAT SEVASHRAM Sheng or Seva without not doing the activities. And this is not just for Swamijis, but devotees also have that right and privilege to do the activities of BHARAT SEVASHRAM Sheng. That's why so much Milan Mandirs were created all over the world. And not only in India, we have like 500 Milan Mandirs run by householders, just like ashrams. The only difference, there's no Swamiji there constantly, a resident Swamiji. But these devotees have risen to the level because doing the work of and collaborating with with God, you get the benefit also. And throughout that time, I visited all these places, all the activities of the ashram, whether it's school or hospitals or tribal welfare, of whatever the activities, tsunami relief, or going to different countries and doing spiritual harmony and conflict resolution. Then gradually, Swami Parameshananda ji, he left me with in late 1990s. He would have come to me in the dream after a nice lecture in Delhi ashram for Vasik Utsav, the annual function. And then while I was doing the arti, I was thinking of him as in his body that was going bad. But I know that he is a manifestation of consciousness. So in the dream, he said that, no, from now on, you see me as consciousness. You know me to be that. This idea of my body, get rid of it. So he was telling me, remove the murti. He's removing the murti now, his murti, from my presence. And he knew I was ready for it. So now he wants me to worship him as consciousness without name and form. This is the greatness and the power of a guru. And if we also, householders, have that capability, because we know of the Buddha, how he was pampered and he had the luxuries of life. But through the grace of God, he was a manifestation of consciousness. From birth, his astrology said that he was destined to be a great soul. But his father, being attached to the child, This is what parents do. They get attached to the children and they don't allow them to go into higher heights of spiritual. But the Buddha was ready for it, and then he just left everything behind. And he eventually he did austerities, and then sitting under the Bodh Gaya, the Bodhi tree, he became the enlightened one, the Buddha. So, so everyone has the capability of doing this. But when Buddha was doing all of that, there was high discipline. And it's that discipline that made him into the enlightened one. And so many other great souls. King Bharat, he was such a great king, flourishing kingdom. Every one of his subjects, the people were, the wealth was distributed, no starvation, no craving and lacking of basic needs. And after some time, he would have given it up and say, I don't want this anymore. And he went into the bushes next to the sadhus, next to the river, and he performed austerities, and he was enjoying it. And we know that story, that when the deer came, the pregnant deer, chased by a lion, and she jumped into the water, the river, and then when she came out on the other side, she gave birth to a deer, the baby deer, and then she abandoned the baby deer and ran, and the deer was left behind, and King Bharat took care of that baby deer, and he got attached to it. But when he on the last breath, he was thinking, what will happen to my baby deer, this poor, this baby? And then when he went to his judgment, he was told he has to come back again because of this one attachment. So attachment is something that we have to be careful of, because if we get attached, because one day we all have to go. Aaye bhi akela, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए, मतलब के यार सारी सभी है परारी, इन्हीं के लिए है कितना तूने दुख झेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठा सपना, गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना. सबकी रही थी होई, मैं हूँ अकेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. Let us not get fooled by this illusion. We came alone, we have to go alone. Why all this attachment? Let us do our duty. The duty of a parent, mother and father, is to take that child closer and closer to God, not to pamper him with all kinds of worldly things. Education has to come, but if that pampering keeps it in the mundane plane, and importance and attention is given to this mundane plane, this illusionary, this magic of creation, then what will happen? That child will not come closer. But you can't give what you don't have. You as parents, you also have to come to that state. That is the foundation that you have to have. Don't try to go into the world if you don't have a proper foundation. If you try to build a house and the foundation is not right, what will happen? The house will crumble. That beautiful house will crumble. So this morning, let us build that foundation. It is never too late. Don't think you're too old, or don't think you're too young, or don't think that you're poor, or you're too rich, because all of these things are the illusion. You get trapped by it. Let us break ourselves from this illusion. This morning here, look at this mandir. We have no murti, but yet all the murtis are here. Imagine, that when we worship Mother Ganga, here's Mother Ganga. We don't need to look at a murti. Here she is. Water. We don't have to give water a name and name. This is the murti. Air. We do Hanumanji. Well, air is here. Okay. We go to Hanumanji and lessons are being taught by it. But when we listen to all of these lessons which we have over the years, why can't we become those murtis? Why do we have to be going outside and listening to this story and our history? We are the embodiment of all of this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om. Look at nature there. That beautiful bird, look at them there. Isn't this a beautiful scene here? That nature, the mandir, this is our mandir. And never forget that you are the greatest murti. Your murti, your body is the greatest murti. Why go look and worship a stone in a mandir that's all dressed up? You take care of your murti and you'll see, you'll come closer to God. Go inside, don't look outside. This morning, it is such a beautiful thing. Aren't you feeling good? Why do you have to go and socialize, pick up the phone or go to the cell phone? You have it all inside of you. These are distractions. You have to come to the point. Lift yourself to that level where you are that greatest murti. Today, to the blessings of all the deity, Lord Shiva, and Bhagwan Sri Krishna, and Swami Parameshananda, let us pay adorations. Let us enjoy this day. Let us make the best of it. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Oh, Bola Sisi Guru Maharaj ki jai. Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. Oh, ho, 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 ho. All right. Jai Gurudev.